For over 1,000 years, Rome stood as the most powerful empire the world had ever seen. A civilization that built roads across continents, armies that conquered nations, and laws that shaped the future of the modern world. But even the mightiest empires fall. This is the story of how Rome, the eternal city, crumbled from within and was torn apart by the forces of time, corruption, and war. Welcome to the fall of the Roman Empire. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither did it collapse in one. By the 2nd century AD, under Emperor Trajan, Rome reached its peak. Its territory stretched from Britain in the west to Egypt in the south and Mesopotamia in the east. The empire was rich, powerful, and feared. But deep beneath its shining marble surface, cracks were beginning to form. Cracks that would, centuries later, bring the empire to its knees. After the death of Emperor Marcus Aurelius in 180 AD, Rome's golden age began to fade. His son, Commodus, ruled like a tyrant, caring more about gladiator games than governance. He drained the treasury, executed rivals, and corrupted the Senate. And after his assassination, chaos followed. For decades, emperors rose and fell like dominoes, many murdered by their own guards. Stability vanished. Rome's greatest enemy was no longer outside its walls, but inside. Rome's economy began to crumble. Endless wars drained its finances. Heavy taxes crushed the poor, while the rich avoided paying them. The empire relied on slave labor, which stifled innovation and progress. Meanwhile, the value of Roman coins dropped as emperors minted more silver to pay for their armies. Inflation soared, bread became scarce, and the once mighty empire started to rot from within. The Roman army was once the most disciplined fighting force in the world. But as time passed, loyalty faded. Rome began hiring foreign mercenaries, soldiers from Germanic tribes who fought only for gold, not for Rome. When the empire could no longer pay them, they turned against it. And as enemies pressed on every border, Rome could no longer defend itself. In 285 AD, Emperor Diocletian made a desperate move. He split the empire into two. The Western Roman Empire ruled from Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire ruled from Constantinople. It was meant to make ruling easier, but instead it divided the Rome's strength. The East grew richer and more powerful. The West grew weaker and poorer. Then came the final blow. From the north, waves of barbarian tribes, Visigoths, Vandals, Huns, began invading Roman lands. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. Rome was sacked for the first time in 800 years. The city that once ruled the world was plundered. In 455 AD, the Vandals struck again, and by 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire was gone. The last emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was dethroned by a Germanic general named Odoacer. The empire that once claimed eternal glory had fallen. But was it truly the end? Not entirely. The Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, continued for another 1,000 years, and the legacy of Rome still lives on today, in our languages, our laws, our architecture, and our governments. Rome may have fallen, but its spirit never truly died. History reminds us that no empire, no matter how strong, is immune to decay. Power fades, wealth crumbles, and glory turns to dust. The story of Rome is not just a story of collapse, it's a warning that even the greatest civilizations fall when they forget what made them great. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more history stories from the past that shaped our world today.